And that's what I wish Israel would see as a political. There are two different ways of seeing the current state of affairs. The prevailing one is that the Palestinians did in 1993 under White House law accept Israel. But they have grievances, occupation, poverty, humiliation, and the like. Or that the U.S. government made mistakes, or the Israeli government made mistakes. Mine is that the Palestinians are feeling strong and optimistic. It's not a matter of occupation and despair. It's a matter of exhilaration and optimism. It's the opposite of occupation. It's not Palestinian grievances. It's Palestinians' strength and ambition. Now, the policy implications of this are clear. The conventional view is that Israel needs to satisfy the Palestinians and make concessions to them. My view is that the Palestinians must accept Israel. The conventional view is that Israel must give, and my view is that Israel must win. The conventional view is that Israel must please the Palestinians. My view is that Israel must crush the will of the Palestinians. So my recommendation to Israel and to Western states, no more aid to the Palestinians. No more recognition. No more pieces of paper. A piece of paper can memorialize a solution, but they cannot create it. No more discussion of final status. I don't want to hear about the disposition of the Temple Mount. Let's first see this war won, and then we can figure out about the Temple Mount. No Israeli concessions. They serve no purpose. Israel's burden is to be tough. Some kind of Oslo-type agreement, some horse trading, yeah, I'm not against it in principle. But only after the Palestinians have come to accept Israel's existence. Now, from this point of view, I have a simple principle that anything that encourages the Palestinians, and more broadly Arabs and Muslims, the enemies of Israel, to see Israel as weak and to be encouraged and exhilarated is a bad development, like Gaza. And anything that discourages them and makes them feel that they can't win is a positive development. How does one tell when the war is over? Well, when the Palestinians and Arabs and Muslims and others have, in a consistent way over a protracted period, not engaged in violence, not engaged in incitement, and not tried to take steps to eliminate Israel. When they show their disagreement with Israel, really strong letters to the editor. Demarches and so forth. When the Jews of Hebron have no more need for security than the Arabs of Nazareth. When the maps in Arabic show in Israel. So, I'm not going to get into the details of how Israel should win. That's not my role. But it is to say that there's a profound misunderstanding of the nature of the conflict. There needs to be, this is my fourth, I kind of skipped it, my fourth term is change of heart. There needs to be a change of heart on the part of the Palestinians. Israeli policy should be devoted to that. American policy, which is my role in this, is to encourage Israel not just to defend itself from being attacked, but to win. A wall is a good idea, fine, no problem with a wall. To protect Israel from being, Israelis from being assaulted. But a wall is not a solution. Hunkering down is not a solution. The wall is a tactic, it's a useful tactic, but it's not a strategic solution. You have to win. You can't win with the wall. In conclusion, the present situation is tragic in that everyone loses. The Israelis are being attacked. I gave you that list. From Iranian nuclear buildup to editorials around the world claiming that Israel is a part of the state. It is the only Western country that's forced on a daily basis to assert its existence through military force, intelligence, arrests, and so on. And is a thriving state. It gets hit, but it's a state that works. It's a state with a buoyant culture and even these days, a pretty good economy, vibrant polity, and high-tech sector that's second to none. Israel, despite this problem, is a successful, functioning country. The Palestinians are not. They are more harmed, interestingly, by their own determination to eliminate Israel than is Israel. Palestinians, who are a skilled and dignified people, are prevented from modernizing. They're subject to dictatorship, to poverty, accidents. These are the wretched results of their foul, irredentist goals. If they were to give up, if they were to lose, if their will is to be crushed, then they could make advances. They could begin to build their own polity, society, culture, and economy. But they can't do that so long as they're focused on harming Israel. They can't progress. So in sum, the Arabs must accept Israel before anything positive can happen. The Arab-Israeli conflict can end when the Palestinians do accept Israel. The former combatants will be liberated at that point. It will be good for both sides, not just for Israel, but also, interestingly, perhaps even more so for the Palestinians. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pikes. The Palestinians cannot thrive so long as they're focused on harming Israel. That is an extraordinarily important point. And I think we've already seen in some of the earlier presentations why it is that they cannot thrive and are not thriving, having to do with when they turn on the television and see this propaganda exhorting them to hatred and to violence and to destruction. How on earth will they be turning to anything else? And that brings us to the next presentation, which is probably the